Hey, yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Yet another episode of the All Pro JAFFOs bringing you the highly elevated sports talk for the highly elevated sports fan. I am your host, JP.
Hey, yo.
With me, as always, the 6'10 beast from the southeast, Mr. Country K.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
And hope to join us a little bit later, hoping the young one, Royal, gets to bed on time. The greatest DJ in the entire world, Mr. DJ Mastix.
Nobody tells DJ Request what to play.
And glad that you guys can join us on this Friday evening, January 12th, 2024. Got a lot to talk about today, but we want to start off the show talking a little bit of NBA before we get into the extensive conversations that we normally have about the NFL and especially the coaching carousel that is going on around right now. Some of the craziest things I've ever seen in recent memory. But NBA, a whole lot of trade talks and stuff like that are going on right now. The Warriors basically came out and said everybody except for Steph Curry is on the block. I know the Kings have their eye on Pascal Siakam and Mikal Bridges. Um, and then the Lakers. I mean, we all obviously know any team that LeBron's on, if especially if they're struggling, um, pretty much everybody is on the trade block there in LA. But Kay, from what you've seen in the NBA so far, is there anything or any conversations that are going around that might have surprised you or something that you didn't think about until you kind of looked it up?
Um, Not really surprised. I mean, all honesty, the Kings for Pascal Siakam trade is stupid as shit. Um,
Why is
that
that?
one was simple because the Kings need a big. They don't need a fucking a stretch four that's trying to be a three.
You think Mikal Bridges would be the better option?
Fuck yeah,
I think so too.
fuck yeah. Mikal Bridges would be a perfect fucking option for the Kings.
Especially to work on side by side with Sabonis.
I was saying De'Aaron Fox, but
Well,
okay.
De'Aaron Fox as well. That I mean, take some pressure off of him. He's been moving like he's just an
Yeah,
energizer
no,
bunny.
that's your number one option. Sabonis is literally just a sidekick at
Yeah, but
best.
he may be a sidekick, but he's still a triple double machine, bro.
Again, you don't really have shit on your team, so he's just doing everything that needs to be done outside of that, like getting rebounds. The assist is major, like that's good for a big to contributing the assist factor. So now that's big with his points and stuff like that. But outside of
What's
that, I'm like,
your I wanted to ask you this. You being 6'10", I'm
mm,
sure through high school and stuff like that, you were playing, the big man position, either power forward or center, or at least you could correct me if I'm wrong. But what is your like when you think of it like a true center? What are you
so
thinking of, like height wise? I mean, obviously, ideally you would love to have somebody like Shaquille O'Neal on your fucking team. Over 7 feet, 300 pounds, just dominating the fucking paint all day. But that's not necessarily the big man of today. So what would your criteria for a true big man be? Because
right.
Sabonis, even though he's the center, he's only 6'11", and they kind of look at him as undersized.
Well, for multiple reasons. To answer your question, yes, the big man of today has changed. So my prototypical center would be Shaq. But again, that's not how basketball's played today. So a true big man of today would be Joel Embiid or like a you know what I mean? Somebody like that.
Joel
But
Embiid, he's about as close as you can get because he's pretty solid, but he's still kind of got that like I don't even want to say lanky build because he's bigger than that.
well, yeah, Joel Embiid's like 7'1", like 7'1". He plays, you know what I mean, the way he plays. But again, Sabonis is a big man, but he is undersized because he's in the West. Well, shit, he's undersized no matter where he is. If he's in the East or the West, because he has to play 7 footers. You know what I'm saying? And even when he has to play other bigs that's his height, he's not being able to play. So like, who is he able to match up with for real? Like with his skill and his size. The only one would be Anthony Davis. Now, granted, Sabonis is super strong for his size. So his strength really isn't the issue. It's more about his height and you know what I mean? So like when he plays like a top big that's in the West, which is Joker,
Hmm.
that's his issue. You know what I mean? His height. His height is the issue. So and then
So,
if they end
so
up making it to the finals and say hypothetically they play somebody like the fucking 76ers, you got Joel Embiid that's really gonna do it to him the
that's
exact
gonna
same
problem.
way.
That's gonna be a problem.
So that's really his issue. So he's really a four playing the five because of his ability, not because of his height. So that's
So do
pretty
you
much what
think
it is.
you think a true big has to be like a minimum 7 feet?
Well, I mean, to compete, a 7 footer or something like that to compete with the top bigs, you need a footer for sure. Like a footer that's capable. That's what the Kings need. You don't need Pascal Siakam. Y'all really gonna just end up losing in the exact same spot.
Hmm,
Even if y'all get matched up, like say y'all play the Lakers, y'all lose to the Lakers again.
it's true.
Even after y'all get Pascal Siakam, because who is Pascal gonna guard in that situation? Excuse me, LeBron, and LeBron gonna do it to him.
This is why Kill Bridges is a much much better pick. But who do you think needs to be like, or what team do you think needs to make a move for them to be able to take it to the next level?
Well, my Heat for sure. We need a big. Like Pascal will fit with us, but again, like it will probably make Bam go more to the four or the five, and we'll have a four with Jimmy. But then what we'll have to trade to get him, and everybody trying to get Tyler Hero, so that's a no go. Like with us, if we had a solid point guard, we'd probably be a lot better too. But
Hmm.
um, I think this Miami, I mean not Miami, but LA and Atlanta trade is something that's
The DeJounte Murray. I saw somewhere that the
yeah, but it's
Warriors were eyeing DeJounte Murray as well.
well they were eyeing for Pascal Siakam as well. They're kind of eyeing for everybody, all top people, because they need something. That's exactly what they're saying. Like they don't have a roster to compete, which they don't. They don't have a roster to compete, and
I'm
you
not
don't
gonna
really
lie,
have
I was
pieces
I
people
was a
want.
little upset that the Spurs gave up DeJounte Murray. Not gonna lie,
Well, I
but
mean,
had that not happened, it's pretty good likely chance that Wemby wouldn't be on the team right now. Which, by the way, what do you think of Wemby?
nah, y'all will still get Wimby. Y'all was sorry shit with DeJounte. It didn't matter, but y'all still would end up with Wimby with DeJounte. Y'all probably be in a better position though. But Wimby, he's decent. I mean, he getting it together. I feel like he gonna be nice next year. He gonna be like a real force next year. The Spurs will get something else to go with him. And that's why I say next year. This year ain't it. It's next year. Next season is gonna be the
How
season.
old is he?
Wimby?
Yeah, is he 19?
Oh no, nah, he ain't that young. Wimby for sure like 21, 22. someone like that.
No, really? That old? No.
Yeah, I don't know. You're gonna have to Google that, but
Yeah, I'm gonna look that one up real quick. But I don't think he's that old. It's just, and I kind of wanted to get um your take on this as well. Do you think um so like what do you think of the way he's 20 years old? Um the way overseas is basically training their I mean, a lot of the best players in the league right now are from overseas, and that's because of the way, you have guys like Luca, um, who have been professional since they were like 16 years old. Didn't Ricky Rubio, wasn't he a professional since he was 12? 12 or like 14, something like that? Like the way they train them overseas compared to how they've been training them here is where that's kinda coming into play because these guys, as soon as they get in, they're already ready. So, like, have you seen a big change, and is that something that you think might be something in the future here in the States?
Well, I mean, I'm a little biased just simply because I was privy to having a foreign exchange student on my high school team my senior year for basketball. Um, Shout out to Richie. But we had a guy from New Zealand that played for I think it was either Australia or the New Zealand team. When he was like 14, because when he came to us, he was 16, turning. Yeah, no, he was. Fuck, how old was Richie when he got to us? He was 15. Yeah, Richie was 15 because he was in the 10th grade. No, he was 16. Yeah, Richie was 16 because he turned 18 senior year. So yeah, he was 16 when he got to us. So he played 2 years prior because he was 14 when he played. He was like, I played against LeBron in one of the like exhibition games and shit like that. And he told us, and I was like, damn, that's fucking tight. He was just telling us shit in the locker room, like different stories and shit like that. Like, because he had to wait until after December to play because his dad had to move over. Well, his dad and his mom had to move over because his dad was working at the school too. And because I guess he had to wait on his like grades and shit like that to transfer over. I don't know. I don't really remember why he had to sit, but he had to wait until after January to play. So, like I said, I'm a little biased just simply because I have that experience with somebody like that, and we play really well. So I think it's super tight that they do that kind of shit, like that they're able to play like that. Like as far as here in the States, I don't know if that'll happen here, but I already know as far as the NFL is concerned, they already doing that academy style stuff over there overseas in like Europe.
Yeah.
So um basketball, I think they trying to do that kind of stuff too. I'm not entirely sure, but like I said, I don't know about here in America, so to answer your question.
I mean, when I look at it, I go, it basically puts them ahead of the curve in certain ways, like the age groups and stuff like that. I mean, I guess we have something similar, but like the youngest person who can come into the league is basically, a one and done out of college unless they go back to the high school ways that they're actually talking about doing now. But when I see Wemby, he's 210 pounds. At 7'4", where do you think I mean, and, again, he's still young, he's 20 years old. He just turned 20 years old. Um, how much bigger do you think he needs to get because I think some size definitely needs to. I feel like putting another like 40 pounds maybe on him would be good. Him
Uh,
sitting at a cool 250.
but 40 if for 1 year he probably need to put like maybe 20 pounds and just like 10, 20 pounds and go up like that. Like he don't need to get like super big. Like he need to do the Giannis program, like how Giannis was thin, but he didn't get like extra swole in between like now and then. Like you could tell he's bigger, you know what I mean? Like as far as his size, as far as, you know what I'm saying, strength wise and build and shit like that. But goddamn,
He
pause
can
off.
move, man.
Uh, but yeah, I feel like for Wemby, like 1 year, maybe like 15 to 20 pounds max within
Oh,
one
so you
year.
you don't think he needs to get he sitting at a cool 230 might be good for him?
That's what I'm saying. If he's 210 now, that's what I mean. Like 10,
Uh,
10 to 20 pounds max. 20 pounds is max, but like I said, we'll have to see. 10 might be cool for him. It just depends. Everyone's different.
Kind of go year by year type of thing.
Yeah, you have to do that.
You
Like you
know,
can't just go a big gap and he's just gonna become this extra dominant guy in 1 year. That don't happen for everybody. Like Giannis didn't happen like that. You got to
if
figure
we're
it out.
if we're seeing Wemby in 5 years at 250, what do you think the Spurs are looking at? What kind of stats, like from what you've seen, like does he impress you at all? Because he impresses the shit out of me.
Well, I mean, you're a Spurs fan, so I mean,
There's a little bias in there, sure, but I mean, outside of that, it's like I'm kind of amazed at the fact that he can move the way he can move.
well, yeah, I mean, again, he's when you train the way he's trained, that's kind of how it is. Like he's played all of his life to be an athlete, like play a positionless style of basketball. So yeah, like that's kind of how it works. I mean, I, we're so depicted. Like when I was coming up, we were just so fucking stuck on playing a form style of basketball. Like when I had to play, because I was always taller, I always had to play a five postman type of stuff. So when I got to high school and they was teaching us, because again, the way we were constructed, we didn't have many big men. We just had a bunch of guards and like, you know what I mean, wings and stuff like that. So I had to train how to play like a guard. So that's kind of how my dribbling prowess kind of like came about because of high school basketball and just playing like that and practicing like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just kept doing it like when I played like pickup basketball. So like when I played pickup basketball, some folks would be like, "Well, you think you play a guard?" It's like, no, I was just honestly for me, the way I was thinking about it, I'm like training myself, training my game on how to play like that. You know what I mean? How to dribble, and I feel like at this point in time in my life, I can dribble pretty well. I mean, I'm not consistent because I haven't played a couple of years consistently, so it's a different style, different time now. But when I was playing consistently, I played really well. Like I got pretty decently, especially when I didn't go the fucking educational route. You know what I mean? Played some pro am and shit out here in Cali. Like got an opportunity to play at an invitational to go to the Philippines. So like shit like that kind of worked out, and shit like that didn't. You know what I mean? So I mean, I feel like I got content with it. You know what I mean? I feel like I could have did more if I'd have just like completely focused on it. But I didn't really focus on anything until it was too late. So that's kind of my issue.
Yeah. mean, I look at him and it's just like I'm looking at a picture of him and I'm like, he he looks like a reincarnation of like he's like a skinny Wilt and and Kareem put together. Like I mean, and he was trained by Kareem. And that's like I can't really stress enough how much that factors into this whole thing. But I mean, I don't know what the Spurs need. I mean, obviously, I know what the Spurs need to do. They need to build around Wemby as much as they possibly can. Um, but do you think the Warriors are gonna clean house?
That's a tough
Like
question.
you really think they're gonna get rid of Clay and Draymond?
Yeah, I think they'll get rid of everybody they need to get to try to win again. I seriously do, and that's that's unfortunate that guys didn't play better. So, oh well, gotta go. Like that's kind of what's going on right now because they didn't do what they supposed to do when they was there. That's what happened. So they gotta go ahead because they ready to move forward with Steph, and Steph is their guy for. They're trying to get as much as they can out of him for as long as they can right now.
Yeah, it's because I was looking at it going, damn. All right, well, if they trade Draymond, where does he go? Where does Draymond go?
Probably trade him. Probably Lakers.
No way. Ladies and gentlemen,
That's where he fits. You got they
gentlemen,
would
Albert.
fit him. They would fit in that.
So wait, you really think? Wait, can you say that one more time?
Like I said, I think they'll give Draymond his option of where he would want to go. Like give him the grace of where he believe where he would fit. He believed he would fit. That's probably what I was trying to say. And especially in a situation like the trade, just simply because based off what he's done for them. He's given that option, but I mean, if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. So,
You
but
think
I personally
LeBron would actually put up with that?
put a what? Like he wouldn't do all of that with him because they wouldn't need all of that. They would just need him to play the way he plays. You know what I'm saying? So like he does that to try to like give a level of toughness to.
But what is Draymond right now?
What do you mean?
Like the, Draymond is not the same as he used to be. That's for goddamn sure. He's not putting up points. He's not putting up the assists. He's literally just a body out there.
I mean, he's putting up the assists because the people they throwing the ball to aren't scoring. That's the whole element of assists. Um, they don't know what the hell they're doing with that system and with that team because they don't have the right. He never really was a scorer like that personally. And as far as the rebounding and shit, it's like, I guess.
Mr. Double A, sir, welcome.
Welcome,
Uh,
brothers. Always good to be on the program.
So, man,
I'll ask you real quick. Where would you see if the Warriors are really getting, planning on cleaning house? Where does Draymond go?
Well, oddly enough, they just won a game. They just beat the Bulls 140 to 131. I don't know because the thing is, they had talked about him and Zach LaVine, but Zach LaVine's got that big contract, and the Warriors are trying to unleash some money. I mean, I know they said everybody but Steph is available, but I'll say it like this. I mean, you have Kaminga, you have Moody, you have Jackson Davis, and you have Pozinski. I would say keep those four young guys and let that be the new core when Steph decides to hang it up because I know they're trying to get Steph one more to get him to tie Kobe and Magic. I understand it. But now my question is starting to ask, has Steve Kerr because when you have both your two young guys in Moody and Kerr, which you've never heard that in deep Kerr era Warriors basketball. Consider the fact that Kuminga was giving you some good minutes against the Nuggets. You never put in against that 18-point lead when the Joker said the bank is open at the end. So it really is who's going to take Draymond's contract, first of all, number one. And, number two, would you even dare trade him to the Lakers? I mean, why would you do that? Why would you trade him in conference? That would make no sense. But a change needs to happen. That there has to be some new, fresh blood infused to the Warriors. No question, no doubts about that.
I
feel you on that.
I
Why
just
would you
kind of
trade him in
figured, oh,
conference?
that's it.
I feel
Draymond
you
going
with
to the
why
Pistons.
would you trade him in conference? But the first question I would ask you is why would you trade Anthony Davis in conference? That's a
Why
bigger
the
weapon.
what?
Why would you trade Anthony Davis in the same conference? That's a bigger weapon.
Anthony Davis.
Yeah, he got traded from New Orleans to the Lakers. They're both in the Western Conference.
But you think them getting Draymond would mean that they would have to get rid of Anthony Davis?
I didn't say that at all. How did you come to
Oh,
that conclusion?
I don't know that. I don't know how I heard it that way, but that's what my mind was registering for a quick second there.
No, I was basically giving you an example where someone has been traded in conference. That was my point. But yeah, so he fits because that's kind of what they need. They need a guy like him to do that dirty work, and they need just from one person. He just need a my breath of fresh air, low key. And I mean, if not them, it would probably be my team. But I don't think we need that. You know what I'm saying?
Draymond to the Heat?
Like it has to be a team like that's like hard working and does all that kind of gritty kind of shit. That needs somebody that's on that gritty level type of shit.
Yeah, and that'll definitely take the pressure off Bam on the defensive end because Draymond will help set up the defense because he's a defensive type player, which would fit Spoelstra's system to a T. But
Um,
as it
like
always
that
is,
one.
what are you going to give up to give? That's always the thing. What are you going to give up? Because I've always been the believer of you don't give up the farm for one guy. I've always stood by that. I just believe that because you get the one guy, but where's your depth? You have no depth now because you got that one guy.
Oh, they don't have that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be very interesting. There's still a whole lot of basketball to be played, and we will definitely see as the season goes by, especially when the All-Star break and stuff comes up, how it all kind of plays out. But before we get into the next topic, ladies and gentlemen, uh, enjoy a message from our friends over at Raise Energy.
What's up, Jaffo Army? JP here of the All Pro Jaffos, bringing you a message from our proud partners over at Raise Energy.
Thank you.
Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with
Oh,
instilling
yeah.
a high
It
quality
was just right
formula
there.
to bring the consumer a powerful yet sustained energetic experience to help us put your workouts and focus in general to the very next level. Perfect for anyone at any time. Raise Energy has become the most popular, the best rated energy drink on the market to date, with a phenomenal flavor profile that puts most of the competitors just downright to shame. Powered by the enhanced Refresh technology, Raise Energy delivers with a performance-enhancing energy drink profile that aids in the most often overlooked categories, which include targeted focus, enhanced recovery time, as glycogen becomes depleted, improve clean energy levels, boost in stamina and in hydration. Most importantly, each can of Raise has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. You should not have to drink or settle for any other energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, opt for the smart choice with the #1 fan voted energy drink on the planet with Ray's Energy Drink. Use the promo code ALPHARAYS at checkout to get 15% off of your order. Demand more. Join the Rays Rebellion. Let them know the JAFFOs sent you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, go to repsports.com, reppsports.com, and use the promo code ALPHARAYS for 15% off of your order. Gentlemen, can you smell it in the air? It's a new day when coaches that some have been riding the coattails of greatness. Others can't stand the heat of the new NIL, enforcing all-time greats to leave and or get fired from their positions. And the fact that they've found people so quickly is also kind of astonishing. Because Nick Saban is out at Alabama, and Alabama fans everywhere were losing their shit. Now the new head coach is from Washington. He just made it to the national championship game. And the whole reason behind all of this, and you guys can maybe correct me if I'm wrong, did anybody see Nick Saban retiring from the game happening right now this early?
No, it's quite a shock. But as you said, with the whole transfer portal and NIL money, he probably feels like now for him is the right time for him to get out. I'm pretty sure he'll still involve the game. I'm pretty sure ESPN has a nice wad of money to have him on College Game Day with Herb Street and Carson the boys. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to stay involved somehow. But, I mean, just for him to just up and just out is quite shocking. And the fact that Alabama wasted no time to get DeBoer from Washington, of all places, which is really quite the shot because some thought that Alabama was going to try to take a stab at and have him leave Clemson to come to Alabama, but obviously that's not the case. But I mean, of course, me being a Georgia fan, obviously good riddance, bye bye, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. But you have to give the man his props for what he did in his 17 years at Alabama, all the national championships, and then of course the national title he won at LSU. I mean, he's an SEC legend, and you have to give him his props. You have to tip your cap to him because I mean when he came to Alabama, Alabama was a fledgling program and was struggling, and he made that program back to prominence again, like the old days of Paul Bear Bryant. So, I mean, again, much as I can't stand the team he coaches for, have to tip your cap and give the man his due without question.
Yeah. Okay. Was this any shock to you at all?
No, congratulations, coach. Probably gonna go in the broadcaster, so can't wait to see you on TV.
Yeah. All right.
Straight to the
No
point.
need
I dig it.
no need to get more into that one. Because I mean, I looked at it this way. With the NIL that came up, obviously you knew that was going to change the entire landscape of college football. and it was going to be tougher for Nick Saban to, because before he could just, go in, make his guarantees because you knew Alabama was going to be in the national championship mix the entire time. But it's because other schools can afford to pay more money, that it has nothing to do with recruiting. It's how much you can pay these players. And I
And the
think,
boosters help.
I mean, the
Don't forget about the
boosters,
boosters.
but the boosters are only willing to help with so much.
True.
We've seen places literally, like you said, you give up the farm. Look what Colorado did to get Deion Sanders. What they had to do financially to be able to afford him, especially Jackson State. When they had,
Yeah, but these are small
that's just an
situations. You don't
example.
think
I'm not
about
saying
places
it's,
like a Alabama. You don't think about places like a Alabama, like a Georgia, like Dub's team. Those boosters are filling those pockets a lot more than you're giving credit for. It's different in the South. Like even your team is for sure getting oil money from different places. Like
Oh,
I'm
for
I'm a
sure.
1000% certain of that.
oh,
Like you gotta
Oh
you
my
gotta
we're
think
God.
we're
about where
reaping the
like
benefit big time.
geographically where these places are, and that makes a big difference on where the pocket or where the money's gonna come from. So yeah, in most cases, some boosters aren't helping like that, but then other cases you got boosters that are really filling those pockets for real. So yeah, in some cases, like a Washington, like Alabama's new coach, former team, yeah, he probably won't get as much boosters. But in Alabama, oh sweet lord, he probably getting them pockets filled in Alabama because ain't shit in Alabama. Alabama is only feel the only thing in Alabama right now is Auburn and the Roll Tide. That's it. Those are the only.
That's it. You
So
are the show in that state.
so yeah, that booster money ain't getting split with an NFL team. You see what I'm saying? Like Publix don't have to give money to the Buccaneers, the doggone the Rays, and different teams in Tampa, and then a doggone college team like USF. You know what I'm saying? Like they have to split money from that same organization.
And don't forget the Lightning.
And the Lightning, thank you. So you got so many teams in that situation. Shit, they probably Publix is probably giving money to the Yankees too, because their fucking spring training is across the street from Raymond James Stadium.
That's true. You're right.
So yeah, it's a whole bunch of shit. Like it's a whole bunch of shit gets split in Tampa. But like in Alabama though, hell no, ain't nothing going on out there. And the Roll Tide until like when they had Cam Newton, probably they probably had a bidding war. They had a bidding war for sure. When they had Cadillac Jones, they had a bidding war. Ronnie Brown, bidding war. But when them boys was gone, them three names was gone. Oh yeah, Nick Saban was getting all that money from everybody in Alabama for sure.
Are we all in agreement that Reggie Bush should get his Heisman back?
Oh yeah.
He was voted by the committee. Um, heck, if you want to go a step further, they should give OJ his Heisman back. Well, while we're at it,
Hold on now. Didn't OJ lose his Heisman because he allegedly committed a murder? Well, he got off the murder he supposedly was charged for, but got not convicted of. Let me make sure I say this correctly. Isn't that the reason why he lost his Heisman?
probably, more than likely, you're not wrong.
Or was it the '09 thing when he went to go steal all this stuff back in Vegas?
No, no, no. I think his Heisman got relinquished well before the thing at Palace Station in Vegas.
Okay.
But the thing is, back to your point, um, whether we think we did or not, and we have our own personal thoughts on that, whether he did or did not. But in the court of law, he was acquitted. He was found not guilty. But that's opening up a whole can of worms because what Reggie Bush did on the field in 2005, um, you can't take that. You can't take that away. What OJ did in the '60s playing in Southern California, you can't take away what they did. I mean, yes, you may not like what they did from a morals standpoint, but this is not about morals. It's about what you did on the field. And Reggie Bush was the best college football player on the field in 2005. And USC fans are still asking to this day why he did not get the ball on fourth down instead of Lindell White against JP's beloved Longhorns in the Rose Bowl in 2006. USC fans are still asking that question.
I'm not gonna
But
lie to you. When it happened, I was like, oh, they're going for it. And I looked in the back. I'm like, oh, they got White back. I'm like, oh, we know exactly what's gonna happen. Everybody can jump it. We know exactly what's gonna happen. It's going to Lindell White, and they're going right up the middle with it. And that's exactly what happened. At least with Reggie Bush, you had a playmaker who he could have gone down the middle, he could have gone to the outside. You would have never fucking known.
you could have
He had
put
the
you could have put
early
him in the
on
slot.
mistake of that fumble on the lateral, but I mean, other than that, he was playing pretty freaking good the entire game.
Yeah, it's still one of the best college football games I've seen in my lifetime.
It is
Actually,
the
I
it
mean,
is
actually
the
both. I mean, both the Rose Bowls that Texas was in those back-to-back years, even the one against Michigan was pretty doggone good too. Um, I mean, it's just, I mean, everybody wants to punish, but it's like we have been a forgiving society, and why is it we have a hard time forgiving back? You know what? Give the man his trophy back, because I mean, like I said, he won it by his play on the field, not by what he did outside of the field. It's like all these. It's like the Hall of Fames. It's what you did on the field, not what you did after not after you leave those lines or you leave those hash marks, the court, the ice, whatever it is. It's what you do on the field is why you're being bestowed this honor. That's what it's all about. It's what you did on the field. Because
that's
I
a big
mean, I don't know. I mean, I have my two cents about it, but should he get his Heisman back? Yes, he should. Because I mean, you know, it's like if you were to give the second place person the trophy, that'd be like, well, I didn't win it because y'all didn't vote for me. I don't want it. So it's almost kind of like you're slapping that person in the face because, as we know, Vince felt kind of way because he came in second, and but at the end of the day, he got the bigger prize, which was the Crystal Ball Trophy.
yep.
So
I mean,
at the end of the day, go ahead, Jamie.
I looked at it as, especially with what's going down now. Yeah, it like you said, it has to do with what he did on the field. You can't dispute that. You're not, I mean, at this point, we go back to the coaching points. Pete Carroll has also done, at least at the head coaching capacity there in Seattle. They're saying, "Oh yeah, he's the only coach who's ever won a national championship and a Super Bowl." I'm like, well, technically, if you want to go by what exactly happened, all of that was wiped from the record books. So technically, he didn't.
You're correct.
So, I mean, physically, yes. But if we're going by what the NCAA did to the USC program after Leinart and Bush left, and Pete Carroll left also for that matter, all of that was wiped and stripped from the record books. So for Pete Carroll, the Super Bowl and everything, Legion of Doom, Russell Wilson coming up out of nowhere and everything else, like at the peak of his time. And then now you have Bill Belichick, who we are now looking at as the Trent Dilfer of head coaches, winning Super Bowls off the
Whoa,
of
whoa,
the great ones. And
whoa.
now he's gone from New England, who immediately replaced him with Mayo, who I think was a good pick.
Holy shit.
Go ahead, Kay.
Holy dude, how can you be this disrespectful?
What do you
Huh?
mean?
You call Bill Belichick the Trent Dilfer of coaching?
I've been saying this for
He
weeks.
is disrespectful this quickly.
No, no, no. It had nothing to do with the fact that he's been fired. I've been saying this for weeks. I mean, we've been kind of saying this going like, yeah, he really did need Brady. Had he not had Brady, none of this would have happened, and that's been completely evident. We've been talking about this for weeks. And it's not just, oh, he's gone, and now all of a sudden my mind has thought, yeah, he's the Trent. No, I've been saying it.
I wouldn't I don't think I heard you say it. If you said it, I might have just had a bad connection. I missed that fucking shit, but which is very possible. But holy shit, yeah, no, I ain't rocking with the Trent Dilfer one. I mean, you
Well,
could pick a different quarterback, but I get what
I'll
ultimately I get what you're saying though.
I'll say it
But
like this: Danny Amendola had the greatest quote you could possibly ever come up with. He said, "We worked for Bill, we played for Tom." As I've been saying, the Patriot way is TB12, not Robert Kraft, not Bill Belichick. Tom Brady is the Patriot because people keep forgetting. Bill Belichick kind of took a page out of the Bill Walsh playbook in regards to cut somebody 2 years before they start sucking. And he was trying to cut Brady. The only reason why that didn't happen is because Robert Kraft said, hell no, you're not going to do it. Hence why Garoppolo got traded to the Niners instead of Brady. But Belichick basically said that Brady was done in 2019 because Brady was not playing well in 2019 before he eventually came to the Buccaneers. And we all know what happened in 2020. He hoists Lombardi number 7.
Lord
But
have mercy.
I mean, that's also like saying what great coach would be without their quarterback. But I mean, the thing is, you look at you look at the Patriots and you look like they kind of just, I don't want to say lucked into it, but I mean the what if Drew Bledsoe doesn't get hit, does Tom Brady stay on the Patriots, or does Brady get traded? I mean, we
Or
can
are
all
we
we can
talking
all
about Drew Bledsoe as one of the greatest of all time?
yeah we can all play we can all play hypotheticals. Brady was in the right place at the right time, and he also benefited on having a very clutch kicker also in Adam Vinatieri,
Yeah.
um, and a very good stout defense with Brewski and Seymour
And
and
deflated
Wolford and
balls.
and all those guys. Um, however, um, but again, and here came the problem. They gave Belichick control of the roster, and as it always happens, when you're given both the GM and the head coach, one of those two is always going to suffer. And 9 times out of 10, it's always the coaching part that suffers, not the GM part. Obviously, he thought Mac Jones was going to be the successor. He gets benched for Bailey Zappi, and now they're still trying to find who's going to be the replacement. And this is 4 years removed from Tom Brady. Um, although I do like the fact that they had a coach in waiting and they put it in Jeremy's contract, which is why the Patriots didn't have to go through the whole Rooney Rule thing to please the NFL as other teams go, as you know. Um, which is why the Chiefs never did that for Eric Bieniemy, which is why Bieniemy is now looking for another job, which he might come up because there are rumors about him possibly being interviewed for the Falcons job, which of course Bieniemy has paid his dues. He's long overdue to be a head coach. That
Oh,
remains to be seen. But I mean,
oh God, no.
No?
what?
Okay.
Oh,
Would that be horrible for you?
would be terrible. Oh my God, that coach with Bijan Robinson. Oh my God. Oh God, that'd be like Black Sean McVay going to your division. 'Cause he really good. You have an issue with it. I got an
Uh,
issue with it.
especially
well,
being a Bucks fan.
yeah,
Go ahead,
But
Double.
yeah. I mean,
to be honest with you, I have an issue with it, but I don't have like a huge major issue with it. I still like I believe in Dave Canellis. So like when I gave him shit for him saying all the stuff he was saying, I didn't know his whole history. I didn't know his whole past of trying to become a coach, and it was been 14 years of people telling him no. So yeah, no, I understand why he said what he said because I just saw the Bucks in the current today, and it went over that. So I didn't know all of that stuff. So and the way Baker's played with them and stuff like that, so I can kind of see Todd Bowles keeping his job. We win this playoff game for sure. Todd Bowles keeping his job. You know what I mean? So and they'll give them another shot with those guys. Um, so to get to what you were saying about Pete Carroll, um, yeah, man, Coach Rah, man, it's been a good run. I don't know what you got next going on for you, but good luck in that endeavor. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, I feel like I'm a guru, a Nostradamus, a Miss Cleo type. Honestly, I like Country Cleo. I'm gonna go there. I think I'm gonna switch my name to Country Cleo because I definitely said no. Listen. This is the reason why I'm saying this because last season when Baker finished with the Panthers, I picked him to go to the Seahawks with Pete Carroll before they signed Geno. I picked him to go there with Pete Carroll and Dave Canella because I'm like they fixed Geno, so I feel like he go over there with Coach Rara, that'd be a great pick, a great fit. He came to us and we got Dave Canellis. So he ended up would have been with the same quarterback coach now is our offensive coordinator on one-on-one basis like he is now, and which basically fixed him. So he was still in that same environment essentially that Geno was in to be able to develop. And Dave Canellis was the factor because look at what the Seahawks are now. So
Uh, can you see Mike Vrabel in Seattle? Um,
uh, Mike Vrabel gonna end up in Washington.
yeah, I can see
think
Vrabel
so?
and Adam Peters. Yeah, I mean, I think Vrabel and Adam Peters can do something. Which again, Adam Peters, long overdue. I'm happy for him. Sad to see him leave us, but I mean, he's earned the right. He's paid his dues. Man has been a tremendous assistant GM. I hope he does well for the Commanders. But I mean, well, I mean, if anybody could possibly try to fix that defense, it possibly could be Vrabel. Although I could see Vrabel with that defense in Seattle. It's just it's who does the GM want? Who does he want for his coach? What's his scheme? What's his schematic? Like what are you trying to run? Like how what do you want to base your organization off of? And that's always the big question because you want people that want to come to your organization. And I mean, you look at the most enticing jobs that are out there right now. Obviously, from a talent standpoint, obviously the job in Inglewood with the Chargers is very enticing because you have all that talent. You have the talent in Atlanta with Drake and Bijan and Kyle Pitts. Is just you need somebody to put that together. Um, Obviously, with Adam Peters and the reputation he has, um, I'm pretty sure he can turn around the thing in Washington because now, remember, people didn't want to go to Washington, but now that you have this new
Still don't.
ownership, now that's starting to change. Hence why Adam Peters was a very high commodity for the Commanders. So I mean, it remains to be seen.
Yeah, we'll definitely be seeing how everything is going to be turning out um throughout
Ooh,
this whole process. But it's been wild because I'm seeing movement that I mean, it's one of those kind of old cliches. You knew it was going to happen. You just didn't know when and if you were going to be ready for it to happen. It was very like with Belichick, we kind of saw. it happening the way it did, because the last few seasons, especially since Tom Brady left, have not been good.
No.
You knew he was kind of going on the hot seat, as surprising as that sounds, because again, Bill Belichick accounting for 6 Super Bowls out there in New England, being the only coach, only head coach in history with 6 Super Bowls. And now we're talking about it going, yeah, he's done. He's out. He's fired. It's like it's almost like it's not even on his own terms. He's not retiring. He's not. It's pretty wild to see this whole turnaround happen within the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I just, and then I'm not gonna lie to you. When Nick Saban said that he was done, one, I said, "Oh, well, it's the last we're gonna see of Alabama for a long time. So cool. I don't have to worry about them kind of destroying everybody's mood going in the end of the season. Wondering whether or not Alabama's going to be in the playoff. I'm cool with it. I think it was kind of a boo-hoo, poor me moment type of thing, because the reasons behind it of, with the NIL, I mean, and it could be, oh, I'm done. It's been a long time. I kind of want to do my own thing. It could be that way, but the signs are pointing towards something else. So now it's like, oh, I don't want to do it because, I can't keep up. Hold on, you're Nick Saban. Even when all this NIL stuff is happening, you're still normally in the top 5 at the end of the season every year. Granted, it's not hoisting up the national championships as you're accustomed to, but hey, not everyone can have fucking everything all the time.
No, but they're always playing in a New Year 6 bowl game. So I mean, they were always playing in high prestigious bowls. I mean, they weren't playing in like the Independence Bowl or the Outback Bowl or something along those lines.
It wasn't too crazy.
But I mean, it was always consistency involving Alabama in their play.
But I mean, the coaching carousel, we'll see if more continues. But before we get into our next topic, which is getting into our predictions and conversation about Wild Card Weekend coming up, here's a message from our friends over at Bud Love.
What if I told you that Bud gets better? Introducing Bud Love, the long-awaited herbal blend that's designed to be mixed with your favorite bud and enjoyed together, like the mixer in a cocktail. Bud Love is made from marshmallow leaf, an ancient medicinal herb, the mother cannabinoid, CBG, and rich natural flavors, including terpenes. Offering a wide variety of premium herbal plus mixers to complement your favorite strains. Why? Because every bud needs some love. Our carefully formulated blends improve your experience, complementing your favorite flower and bringing out its best qualities. Many bud lovers even report that it helps reduce unwanted side effects like worry, and instead creates a happy, zen feeling. Bud Love contains no cannabis or nicotine. It won't give you a buzz on its own, but when consumed together, it reduces the amount of bud needed to get the feeling you love, allowing your precious flower to last even longer. Bud Love is best enjoyed with your first bud of the day, carefully paired with your favorite strain. Choose from a variety of delicious flavors, ranging from classic to more fruity to natural, as well as tobacco flavored for those who enjoy a spliff. Mix Bud Love and flower in whatever amounts work best for you for a perfect buzz. Whether you're chilling with friends, attending a social event, or going for a hike, experiment and find your own love ratio. Bud Love's unique blends allow you to craft a happier, smoother, and more personalized experience. If you love Bud, then Bud Love is for you. Try it today and help us tell the world that Bud does in fact get better with Bud Love.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, go to budlove.com and use the promo code JAFFOARMY for 15% off of your first order. Wild card weekend, ladies and gentlemen. The playoffs are here. And it's odd. I feel the season went by very quickly. And I'm looking at these playoffs, and some of these matchups are just odd. Something that I just was not necessarily expecting. Um, First off, okay, your thoughts on this season and everything that you've seen leading up to this point.
All right, can we go last? Can I go last and you go first?
Well,
We got quite a bit of stuff.
I think Dub is switching up his stuff. And I just ate a cookie, so give me just a second. But you want to go last?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this season for one, uh, kind of said it all year. There have been good games, but not a lot of those good games were primetime games. And which is fine. We all make mistakes, everything. And I think going into it when you make the schedule on paper, when you see the way they made it, you can understand why the matchups, but again, injuries have been happening, so quickly, so often that it interfered with a lot of those, said matchups. Um, Absolutely, Deb. Don't worry about it. Anytime, sir. Um, but now we're in a playoff moment where again, I didn't necessarily see the Texans being in. I didn't necessarily see the Browns being in with Joe Flacco at the helm. Um, I saw the Dolphins and Chiefs getting in, but not the way that they got in. Definitely didn't see the Steelers coming. The Bills, I mean, were kind of a sure. Packers, to be honest, I didn't see coming. Cowboys, it was going to be another good regular season and then, fuck up in the playoffs like it always is. Lions, we were hopeful. Rams, at the beginning, didn't think so. And the Eagles are, pretty much dead at this point. And the Buccaneers, especially for me, did not see it coming of, Baker doing what he did this year, getting the Buccaneers to the playoffs. So now, um, but it is exciting because there is storylines and stuff like that going into all of this that are gonna be very interesting to see. Um, so okay, I'll give it to you now. Your thoughts on the season and where it's led up to this point.
All right. So as far as the season, I tried to fucking tell y'all. First off, go ahead and say that out the gate. It was amazing to be right. I knew we were gonna make the playoffs. I said this shit. Y'all doubted Baker. I remember we had like 6, 7 people on, maybe 8. Yeah, so many people on that show. Almost all of y'all was like, yeah, y'all won't win no more than about 5, 6 games, maybe 4 or something like that. Like, and I'm like, y'all can't be fucking serious. There's no way y'all serious right now. There's no way y'all and I tried to tell y'all, but hey, this is kind of what I expected. I didn't expect us to have this slump that we had, and I didn't expect us to have come out like that. But I knew that Baker with the receivers that we have, with the team that we got, it was gonna be the playoffs. I knew that. I knew it because Baker's better than Jameis Winston. I literally said anybody with this offense can lead us to the fucking playoffs. Anybody but that fucking guy. So Baker's proved me fucking right. So, but this is the reason why I wanted to go last. So here's my hope. I'll say it like that, just so it can all be said. Um, so as far as playoffs, to be to be very honest, I'm gonna say it first. I do not want to play the Niners in the second round, right? Just to be all the way honest, I don't, because their kryptonite is big games. So I prefer playing them in the NFC Championship versus the second round. So here's how I see it. We need either one of the underdogs to lose. Either one. Because, like you said, the Eagles are hobbled. They're beat up. They're battered. Jalen broke his middle finger on his throwing hand. I can't hear you because you're muted. That's firstly. And so you're muted. I can't hear you.
Sorry. AJ Brown is
Exactly.
deleting all of his Eagle stuff and throwing a fit.
Yeah, makes sense. That makes perfect sense. So yeah, he's pretty much one out of there. Devontae's hurt. They're pretty much out in the water, and then the only viable weapon they got on offense, and Swift is injury prone. So my guess is he's gonna get hurt this game. So I don't wish that on nobody. I'm knocking on wood, but I really don't see him surviving. And this will be the first time if he finishes this game, I've seen him survive a majority of the season. So, but yeah, oh, so back to my playoff stuff. So as far as the playoff stuff, either one of the underdogs lose will play either, like, say if the Rams beat Detroit, the Rams will play y'all and we'll play, like, say if the Cowboys win, we'll play the Cowboys. But say if who is it over there? Oh,
Packers, Cowboys, Rams, Lions.
Packers win, the Packers will play y'all. And we would play Detroit if Detroit won. Because y'all would play the lower seed. So say if all the favorites win, then we have to play y'all. But that's my hope. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's my hope. And that's the way we'll see y'all in the NFC Championship. And then y'all will swiftly fall apart like y'all always do. All we would have to do is just play football. We won't even have to do nothing special. Y'all would just fall apart like y'all always fucking do in big games. And then we'll just go to the goddamn Super Bowl as a fucking underdog. Just because y'all kryptonite is big moments. And like I said, the only two ways y'all win games is Debo and CMC. and our young
That
Aaron
might be
Donald.
all we need.
Yeah, but our young Aaron Donald and Yaya, bro. I told y'all about Yaya. The same day when y'all talked about Baker, I told y'all about Yaya. Yaya Diaby, bro. That boy is so fucking nice, dude. Led the NFL in rookies and sacks this season. He's fucking nice, dude. He's nice. And then baby Aaron Donald is starting to come into his own for sure. Fancy. He's coming into his own. So
What is AJ Brown crying about?
I'm not entirely sure what he's crying about, but he always cries. He did this shit in fucking Tennessee. He got hurt and then started fucking having a hissy fucking fit. He did the same shit in Tennessee.
I mean, he had 1,400 yards and over 100 receptions this year.
Again,
Maybe the 7 touchdowns is what he's upset about.
I don't know what the fuck he's upset about. He's throwing hissy fits every time he gets hurt. They go into the playoffs, he gets hurt, and he makes that shit about him. Like, dude, you hurt. Your teammate, fuck up. Why are you making this about you? The season's over for you. Like, what can we possibly do for you? Because you got hurt. Y'all was going into the playoffs. Y'all started losing games. It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should have fucking goddamn tried to correct this during the fucking season and have a conversation. You might have tried, you might have did whatever the fuck, but it wasn't a success. So you doing all of this shit right now, right before a playoff game, only helping my Bucks. I mean, personally, I feel like you should continue, but as far as just being in all fairness, because the podcast, like, you might want to chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause I personally want you to continue. Continue making your team being a distraction to your team. Please continue, because now you're finna drop your value, and then the team gonna just
What if
look
the
up.
Eagles beat y'all?
Say what?
I said, what if the Eagles beat y'all?
If they beat us, then fucking motherfuckers is getting fired for sure. Because you shouldn't lose to a team that's beat up like them right now. They have no receivers. They two starting receivers are out, both of them. And if Jalen
Don't
doesn't play, now
aren't y'all a little beat up too?
our kryptonite is fucking backup quarterbacks. And they backup quarterback is Marcus Mariota, which this motherfucker knows exactly who we are playing, and he played for Atlanta. So
I hope y'all beat them.
I
To be
mean,
honest with you.
you could have just kept that to yourself. But all right, I mean, we do
I
have
mean, I've
practice.
already been. I've
So
gone this far with it.
I mean,
Might as well.
before we have practice tomorrow. You don't always have to set yourself up to sleep on the couch before practice. I mean, this is a
I thought it was
choice.
Sunday.
Say it again.
I thought we had practice Sunday.
Oh yeah, it is Sunday. I'm tripping. Oh yeah, well then you're good then. You made your prediction now. You probably be able to sleep in the bed on Saturday.
Wait, the what?
I mean, you're talking extra greasy about your wife's team.
Uh
All right, your funeral, dude.
huh. I mean, it is what it is. Um, but I mean, let's get right into it. The Browns taking on the Texans. Joe Flacco taking on CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud had 4,100 yards, 23 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He could have probably had more had he not sat out a few games.
Man,
Uh,
because of the concussion.
you know, so are the Texans going to be contenders for the next few years because of this? Because of CJ Stroud?
Because of CJ Stroud, yes, but because of this, no. this is not going to play a factor in any goddamn thing. This just gives him his first taste of playoffs, get an understanding of what's going on. I mean, he's playing. Fuck, who he's playing again? The Browns. He'll play a good defense that's been in the playoffs before. Like Miles Garrett's been there before. Most of those guys that was on that roster have been there before. Yeah, everybody that he's playing an experienced team that knows how to play in the playoffs. That has a really good defense. So he'll get that. He'll get that feel. I mean, they're gonna lose, but he'll get that playoff feel. He'll get that atmosphere. He'll get that. You know what I mean? He'll get all that. Especially they're gonna be at home. So hopefully Houston will be halfway full. I mean, they ain't gonna be. I highly doubt it's gonna be packed. It'll probably be halfway full. So he'll get some kind of playoff feel. After this, they probably start packing that shit out after the season because they made it to the playoffs and shit because they ain't expect them to win like that either in Houston. So
Yeah, they're pretty set. They got Cleveland at -1.5 with the over/under being 44.5. Tickets as low as $104 there at NRG Stadium for this playoff game.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
huh?
they trying to pack the house.
Uh, so you got the Browns?
Yeah, I got the Browns. Yeah, for sure. That defense,
I'm gonna go with the Texans here. I'm gonna go with the Texans.
he's smoking rocks. Can you
Uh,
say why? Can you even explain why?
I I think it's underrated I mean, yes, it's kind of a young team. Browns do have a good defense. Yes, yes, yes. That's all really true. But D'Amico Ryans has playoff experience as a coach, not as a head coach, but as the coach. And CJ Stroud, and I've said this plenty of times before, he very much seems like that leader, ice in his veins type of guy. I don't think this is going to make him play a certain way. It's going to be the bright lights of the playoffs or what. I don't think any of that is going to be a factor. I honestly think CJ Stroud is probably going to have a great game. I'm thinking he's probably going to have over 300 yards through the air, maybe about 50 on the ground, and 3 total touchdowns, 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. I think CJ Stroud's gonna have a game, and it's gonna be almost further proof that had he not gotten hurt and had to sit out those games and everything else like that, we would be talking about CJ Stroud not only as the rookie of the year, but possibly the MVP. They might have more than 10 wins. They might be 12-5 instead of 10-7. He's got 4,100 yards now. He might have close to 5. He might have at least 40 touchdowns or closer to at least like 30 to 35. We have 5 interceptions the whole time. He didn't turn the ball over the whole time. This kid was playing out of his fucking mind his rookie year with not a like and with all due respect, Nico Collins, he had a great year himself, 1,200 yards, um, and 8 touchdowns. But with them, there are a couple of pieces I think short. Singletary, I think, is good, but I think they need one more guy. I think they need a bruiser. I think they need somebody who can kind of split the pace or like be a different pace than what Singletary is. And a thought earlier in my head, and let me know what you think about this. Texans ending up with Derrick Henry going into next season.
All right. I mean, you said a lot there. So to answer your last question, that wouldn't be a bad play. Um, but as far as your earlier statements, the reason why I disagree with the fact with the Texans winning this game. Yes, those guys are playing well. Yes, D'Amico Ryans is coaching his butt off. Issue is all of his receivers are hurt. There's no way he's going to throw 300 yards if his receivers are hurt. Tank Dell's hurt. I'm pretty sure Nico's
I
still up.
think that's where it's gonna surprise you, bro.
Kidding me, he ain't gonna surprise shit out of here. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, he ain't got nobody to throw to. He gonna have time. These other guys aren't starters, so they haven't had much.
I understand. I understand where you're coming from. I just think it's not going to matter. He's going to ball out somehow. He is going to ball out. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's completely fine. But just I don't know, just something that I think he's going to surprise a lot of people, and I don't think Joe Flacco is going to live up to the expectation of playoff Joe like he was back in the day. I don't think he's going to live up to that. And again, I could be completely wrong.
Why? Why you don't think he's gonna live up to that?
Huh?
Why?
Why don't I think Joe Flacco can live up to that?
Yeah.
I just there's not really any great reason other than just I think right now he's just it's kind of riding the wave, and at one point the wave breaks and crashes down, and this is going to be that moment in time.
Yeah, no, I don't think the Texans is that team because they're not at full strength. I mean, I agree that that's gonna happen, but I don't believe this is the team that's gonna make it happen. Maybe the next round when they play right.
In the next round, that's a completely different story, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But at least for right now against the Browns,
No, I
I think
wasn't saying the Texans are gonna make that push. I'm saying the Browns. The Browns are
oh, the
going.
Browns. Well,
Yeah, because the Texans are.
that's a fair assessment as well. You know, if the Browns make it, that the chances going into the second round.
Yeah, I give D'Amico for his credit for coaching his butt off for sure, but this is the reckoning. This is Ragnarok. You know what I mean? Like it's about to happen right now. Like, bro, Miles Garrett literally jumped over a human. I gotta remind you this. I mean, I said all of this on the dub and
I'm
Dub.
not surprised with the athleticism of Miles Garrett. I'm just not. It doesn't shock me anymore. I just look at him and go like, he's just a fucking freak of nature. I get it. I get it. He's gonna do shit like that.
Yeah,
Miles Garrett.
guys, check out the Dub and Mizzle show on YouTube. Those guys are doing great work over there. Friends of the show.
Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the next. So Dolphins and the Chiefs. Um, Tickets are going as low as $33, and the reason why, you may ask, hey, hold on, you mean to tell me at Arrowhead Stadium for a playoff game against the Miami Dolphins, tickets are as low as $33? Yes, sir. Why is that? Because it's going to be a wind chill of negative fucking 25 degrees, almost negative 30 degrees outside that day. Um, First off, Miami Dolphins, this is not the type of weather that they thrive in. Um, Hell, I don't even know if Kansas City themselves can thrive through this because this is, okay, you pointed it out, Ice Bowl 2.0. This is like,
I
and
it
Matt didn't
could
want
be
it to go.
2.0. It could be that. We don't know. We have to see. I'm not saying that's what it is. It could be that. We're not entirely sure what the conditions are going to be until we get to. They play on Saturday, right?
Yeah,
Until we get to the game.
which is exclusive on Peacock, by the way. which most people have, but still, it's kind of a inconvenience for those who don't really want to pay for another streaming service. But it is what it is. Um, Tua this year had 4,600 yards, 29 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Right now, they have the spread at KC at negative 4.5, with the over under being 43.5. Huh? You really think that I'm gonna hammer the under on 43.5? It is not gonna be a very high scoring game. I'm gonna tell you that right now. There's no way in hell each team or one of there's no way 43 points are getting scored in this game. I'm going under for sure. But with it all getting played out, who you thinking?
Um, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. Yeah, because they have different ways to, like, say if the wind actually became a factor and then passing really is an issue, they still have running. They still have a run game. I mean, Chris Jones is good, but the rest of those guys aren't really up to his level. So I don't see them having a heavy run stopping defense, especially in their division where all the teams they play really don't have run game.
Miami has good DBs. KC has bad receivers. Hmm.
I mean, KC also has subpar DBs as well.
Why do I see Pacheco having a big game?
I mean, what's a big game when you lose?
Like a buck 25 total yards?
Highly fucking unlikely.
No?
Not at all. Where's the balance gonna come from if he's the only one getting the ball? If you're thinking that his receivers are so trash, where's the other balance gonna come from if he's the only one generating offense? They got good corners, and he's the only one generating offense. Why would they not put a corner on him?
Good point. It's a good point. Mm, it's enticing. I don't know, man. That would be a big win for the Dolphins. That would be a real big win if they can knock off the defending champs. Mm, I might want to join you in this, to be honest.
Kansas City is only defending champs by name, not by current stature. So they're not really like a big threat right now. So defending champs, all right, cool. You're not really a big threat right now.
I told my wife about the tickets and how Mad Sticks was like, we should go to this game, about how like cheap they were. And I was telling my wife, I was like, what? I was like, I understand. I hope he's kidding, because those cheap tickets are the fucking nosebleeds. So you're gonna be at the highest elevation. It's gonna be. Okay, would you go?
For a nosebleed ticket, it was $100 and some dollars to sit like in a decent seat, I probably would somewhere nice room because I don't been to Levi's a couple times and those seats are fucking cramped. So
but
like the
not in the nosebleeds.
yeah, next time I go to an NFL game, it has to be like a section or a box. Like I'm not sitting in a regular seating. I'm too tall for that.
Nosebleeds and minus temperature weather. That would be I nah man, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to do it.
I mean, the box is gonna be popping though.
The box, yeah, they're gonna have the heater on like a motherfucker in there.
Yeah, it'll be nice. The whole family and all that. I don't know if Swift gonna be at this game because even though it's a big game, but yeah, snow and all that. I mean, they probably could play it off. It might be cool, but still got the Dolphins winning.
Just when I saw the wind chill making it -23, I was like, holy shit. How, what's the coldest you've ever played in that you can remember?
Um, so I
I'm sure
haven't.
nowhere near, but like
Um, Probably when I played in Seattle, but it was in May, so it wasn't that cold. Um, it probably was like 50 something because it was like a cloudy day.
mm,
So I don't think it was 50 something. It was colder than that. But nah, um, yeah,
no, um,
I don't know. No, because like I said, my most of my games have been in Florida and California, so I really haven't had a game where it's been like snow and shit like that. Like it's been fair, decent temperatures, especially California and the Bay Area. You know what I mean, and in Sacramento and different areas like that. So,
I think
but
the coldest I've felt is like 30, 35.
yeah, that's something that we probably feel out here, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like if it was any Dakotas, it'd be round up in there or something like that. But it wasn't nothing too crazy, like nothing vicious like that.
Yeah, 30, 30, 30 is for me is like that's pretty fucking cold. That's usually refrigerators run at 36. So if it's colder than that, negative, ah, that's I mean, that's a whole different type of cold. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I hope everybody stays safe because that's gonna be a tough one. Um, that's gonna be a hard fought game, and I don't know how many people are gonna show up, to be honest with you. I don't know how many people are gonna show up. Um, Kay is going with the Dolphins. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins as well. And then you go into Sunday, and then you got the Steelers taking on the Bills in Orchard Park. Josh Allen had 4,300 yards with 29 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. Jeez, he almost hit the 20 mark. Fuck. Um,
Still wouldn't.
Stephon Diggs with almost 1,200 yards, 103 receptions with 8 touchdowns. Um, Tickets going as low as $66. The spread Buffalo is -9.5 with the over under being 33.5. So this game, this game is the over under 33.5, but they're giving 43.5 to the Dolphins Chiefs. Come on now. Um, Bills Steelers K. Who you got?
Uh, Yeah, to your last point, yeah, I would put the Miami Dolphins and Chiefs game, no matter what the weather conditions, more impressive than the Bills And the Steelers, in any motherfucking weather, you can put a monsoon as the location of a goddamn Dolphins and Chiefs game. And right now, and I still say that that should be way more points, for sure, 10 points or more than the Steelers of today and the Bills of today, for sure, for sure. Um, but to answer your question, I'm gonna take the Bills. Um, I'm gonna say my boy Tomlin. You know, you did your record, but we're gonna go ahead and send you to the crib so y'all can figure out y'all situation because y'all need to figure that shit out. Y'all gotta figure that out. I feel Kenny Pickett needs actual competition to make him fucking bring out the best of him. So you gotta get rid of Mason Rudolph and goddamn Mr. Trubisky. But Mason Rudolph is winning fucking games for y'all, so it's kind of fucking hard to be like, yeah, we need to get rid of him. So this is a weird situation. But yeah, I'm still picking the Bills.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I mean, the Bills, like this whole thing that's going on with the Steelers and stuff like that, it's just not going to be enough. They made the playoffs again. You know, cool. Another notch on the belt for Mike Tomlin. Um, but at the end of the day, um, the Bills are by far going to take this. And kind of run away with it. I might choose the over at this. Um, but oh, something happened. I thought somebody was there. But uh, this is gonna be kind of a nightmare for Pittsburgh fans. But the Bills are definitely gonna take that one. Before we go on to the next one, here's a quick message from our friends over at Popple.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, go to popple.co and use the promo code PVP Family for 20% off of your order. Packers Cowboys. This ought to be interesting. Okay, who you got here?
I want the Packers to win. I pretty much laid out the NFC scenario already how I feel, but I want the Packers to win. I don't really have a reason. I don't have a rhyme or reason. I couldn't give you football reasons outside of the scenario I've drawn up of what I want to happen so we can make it to the NFC Championship. That's kind of what I want for Baker, to play in these big moments, to validate the man, validate our season, and to keep what we got going. Because to be honest with you, I kind of want Todd Bowles again, just simply because I want to keep our defense intact and we can still build off of this because what they've been doing with these young guys that we have is really good. Like especially like I said, Kancey and Yaya. Um, they're developing those guys and stuff like that. Yeah, I feel like we swung and missed with Joe. Logan Hall, he's coming along, but I mean, maybe another year he might be that deal, but or a couple years we'll see. But yeah, I like what they're doing and how they're developing certain guys. So I want the Packers to win.
The tickets are going for as low as $50. Um, which I'm not gonna lie, in that stadium, I don't think I would mind the nosebleeds. For a playoff game for $50?
I'm be honest. I'll just stay at the house. Nosebleeds is crazy. That's a crazy sheet.
What, the nosebleeds?
Yes.
Why?
What do you mean why? Man, hell no. I ain't that drawn to go to an NFL game.
They are kind of like it is extremely far. Um, depending on where you're at, it's not like you can't enjoy a game from there. Um,
It's got to be a legendary stadium for me to just be like, I want to be inside that building. You know what I'm saying? Like
oh, I
Arrow,
was gonna say, would you go to Lambeau?
Lambeau and Arrowhead for sure, because those were the first two teams of the Super Bowl. So I would definitely want to go to both of those stadiums for sure. But yeah, like as far as like Jerry World and all that shit, hell no. Like I would have to have a good seat or like in one of those sections, because Jerry World got sections and shit too. So like,
Let's see. I would like the Packers to win as well because I am never gonna pick the Cowboys. That's awesome. They had Dallas at -7, with the over/under being 50.5. So we'll see how that goes. The Rams taking on the Lions. Um, obviously there's a lot of history there especially with Jared Goff and the Rams and Matthew Stafford and the Lions. Um, eh, the lowest ticket at this game is $289. Um, which again makes kind of a lot of sense given the history and everything that's going into it. Um, but
that makes sense to you?
I think so. I think
No.
it's enough to be able to,
So
especially with
listen, the
it
history.
being the Lions making the playoffs and everything else like that as the home team. Oh yeah, I'm I was almost for certain that it would break the 3-digit mark for
So
sure.
here's where I disagree. I feel like the Green Bay Packers with Mike McCarthy and that history is way more recent and prominent than this Lions and shit like that as far as history. Like I get that they play for those teams, but that's the only real draw for that shit. You got Mike McCarthy and the Packers, and then you got the Cowboys and the Packers, because the Cowboys lost to the Packers 9 straight times since that doggone Bears catch. So I mean, it's a lot more history than just, you know what I mean, just one quarterback played for another. I mean, granted, Stafford got a Super Bowl with the Lions, but that was what, like 2, 3 years ago. It wasn't even that long. Like
Yeah.
9 games is a long time, bro. You get what I'm saying? So that's I feel like it's a lot more history with that. And those tickets were $55. So these tickets being 200 some dollars in Detroit, you already finna get your car broken into. Goddamn, y'all gonna take out money too? My car gonna get broken into, guaranteed. Like that's going to happen. Bro. Them boys in Detroit, they had like you said, they had a playoff game in so long. Them boys thinking, ooh, we ain't had no playoff game in basketball, football, maybe hockey, but we ain't had no opportunity breaking these cars in a long time. So they finna hit y'all cars. Unless the doggone police chief finna send the unit out there. That's the only way. The unit is out there protecting those cars because they want to have an experience in Detroit. That's the only way that continues, bro.
I was actually thinking about it, going like, "Damn, everybody be safe out there." Um, yeesh. But who you got? You're muted if you didn't know.
Hold on, say that again.
Who do you got? The Lions or the Rams?
Again, I want the Rams to win.
Oh.
I want the Rams to win. I mean, honestly, this game's still a toss up. I would prefer not playing Detroit too. Um, but
Well,
I mean, I'm not really scared of them. I'm not really scared of y'all either. I'm just saying I would just prefer playing y'all in the NFC Championship.
eh, hold on. So obviously you want the Rams to win for your scenario and stuff like that to take place. But would you necessarily be mad at the Lions winning?
No, as long as Green Bay wins. If Green Bay wins, I'm good. If the Cowboys win, then you pretty much have to play y'all, and then they play each other. The Cowboys will play the Lions. That's what I'm saying. If all of the favorites win, then we have to play y'all because we're the fourth seed because we're the division winners. So basically, all of the division winners will be up, and then we're the fourth. The Lions are third, and the Cowboys are second. So we would be playing y'all, and they would have to play them. So that's why I said I wanted one of the underdogs to win. If one of
Yeah.
those win, then we good. Need Jordan Love to make it 10-0, or Detroit just be one and done, and then next season they'll just come out in a bang.
I mean, I kind of hope the Lions make a little bit of a run, to be honest with you. Um, I'm gonna go with the Lions with this one. Because again, I like what they're doing over there, and um, Dan Campbell and everything, Jared Goff. It's all been, working out pretty good for Detroit. So it'd be cool to kind of see them make a little bit of a run. Um, Before we get into the last one, here's a message from our friends over at Mountain Mike's.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole California milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Hell yeah, the best pizza on the planet, in my opinion. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Go to your nearest one and support your local Mountain Mike's Pizza. Eagles, Buccaneers. I mean, I know where Kay's going with this. Um, we know where I'm kind of going with this. Um, I think Mad Sticks was pretty much on the same page as well. But, again, the Eagles are just beat to shit right now. There's not a whole much, if they do pull it off, then, you know, good for them. But how far can they make it with, the reserves in? Essentially, tickets are as low as $76 there. Philadelphia is favored they're minus 3.5 with the over under being 43.5. Okay, I know it wouldn't be ideal or anything else like that, but how upset would you be if you guys lost? I know you don't really want to entertain it, but humor me.
Yeah, no, I'm not. So as I said before, they're too beaten up, and I highly doubt it. Yes, we have trouble with backup quarterbacks, but I highly doubt that's what's going to happen here. So Bucks by 14.
By 14. Pretty good call. Makes sense too. But a lot of their it's on the offense. They still have a pretty good amount of their defense. How
Problem
good a
is,
game do you think Mike Evans has?
they defense guys can be there all they want to, but if your offense not generating points, how long that's gonna last? It's four
Very
quarters,
true.
not one. So
Very, very true. Um, how good a game you think Mike Evans is gonna have? Or who do you think on the Bucks has the potential to have a big game in this one?
well, to answer your first question, the way those DBs playing over there, I feel like all my receivers gonna have a solid game. Shit, David Moore might have a solid game. Like the way they playing. Um, but I think this is gonna be the K Otten game. To answer your second question, I think this is gonna be the K Otten game. He's gonna have a pretty solid game. Him and Chris Godwin. I think Chris gonna come in second in receiving, but K gonna be first. I feel like this gonna be his game, and then Mike just gonna score a touchdown or something, but it ain't gonna like be a big yard game for him. I don't believe. This is my personal opinion. I could be wrong on the mix up, but I seriously think that K Otten gonna have a big game.
Makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. They're in Tampa, Florida at Raymond James Stadium. Um, there's already talks, especially if the playoffs go awry for the Eagles, of Sirianni possibly getting fired. Um, which I don't know how much worse it can get. Um, out there in Philly, especially with all the promise and stuff that they had going into this season. Um, we broke it to them. They haven't been the same since they played us. Damn shame. Oh, well,
I don't think that was no.
let
That's
bygones be bygones. It's okay.
it had nothing to do with y'all. And see that's that fan.
Of
No,
course it didn't.
their Super Bowl was against the Chiefs. They blew their wad against the Chiefs. That's what it was. It had nothing to do with y'all. It was the Chiefs. So calm down. Like you be giving yourself too much credit. Like y'all really that deal, and you're not. Like y'all real life Aaron Rodgers. Your whole team is
No, stop it.
y'all play well in the regular season and choke in the playoffs every year. Y'all ain't won shit in 30 years. But y'all say the same, y'all talk the same shit. The
Why did you
Cowboys.
say 30 years? It hasn't been 30 years. It's been lower than that.
Oh, my bad, 29 years. You right. Y'all won in 94. 29 years. I'm sorry. No, but it's 30 years actually this year. This is 30. Yeah. This is be 30, guys. It's 2024. 30 fucking years. I'm not giving y'all credit for shit until you show me something past the fucking regular season. Y'all got a Super Bowl twice and choked them off in the 20 teens. Ain't did shit but the 2020s, but play well in the regular season. That's it. It's been 4 years in. Y'all play well in the regular season, ain't did shit since. So congratulations. Y'all got y'all regular season award. Because y'all definitely in the playoffs now. So and you're in the first seed. So you got your regular season award.
Mad Sticks, I asked him too. I was like, what does Brock Purdy have to do to prove that he's legit? And he says, win the Super Bowl. And he says if he wins the Super Bowl, then he'll give him credit. Would you do the same thing if Brock Purdy wins the Super Bowl and it like puts up big numbers, all that other kind of stuff, and wins the Super Bowl? Would you give him credit?
Big numbers don't mean shit. The thing is, the problem is people look at the statistics, but it's how did he get those big numbers? Did he carve up the defense, or was it like Kyle Shanahan drew up a play where it's like it's a bunch of confusing routes and then one motherfucker was just wide open? Brock Purdy didn't slice no defense up, so he can get 300 yards doing that. He ain't do shit. He just threw the ball to the wide open man. I don't give him credit for that. That's what he's been doing the whole time. That's probably why people thinking like, oh my God, they just looking at the paper and the Niners winning. That's it. He ain't doing shit. And I've still been saying this the whole time. The boy ain't slicing no defense up. Been saying that the whole time. I said that shit before Cam said that game manager shit, by the way. I've been said this shit. He ain't slicing no defense to fuck up at all. So, no, I'm not giving him credit unless he actually slices the defense up and he goes out there and wins the game. Then, yes, I would say, like, all right, he did that.
So what is your definition of slicing the defense up?
Throwing the ball in tight windows, basically throwing people open. Like, I mean, you know these things, but
But like you make it seem like he hasn't, which doesn't make any sense because he
so
has.
he's doing that on a consistent basis. That's his MO. So we know Brock Purdy to throw people open and to throw it in the tight windows. That's what we know Brock Purdy to do.
So if he does that and wins the Super Bowl, then you'll give him credit.
I said if he does that in the Super Bowl, if y'all make it to the Super Bowl, which I don't believe y'all are, but you see what I'm saying? If he does that, then yeah. But like I said, I highly doubt because y'all choking the biggest moments. You don't really have receivers like that, and you don't really have a team like that. So, like, all y'all got is a pass rush, which is literally clouded because them boys is sometime in as hell. You can literally scheme to get those boys out of there. Like, they'll break every once in a while, but it ain't like they're gonna just really just take over the defense like that, take over the game. So, all right, I guess that's why I said in the biggest moments they're gonna fucking crumble. And that's why I said I feel like if we play y'all in the NFC Championship, we probably beat y'all. Most likely we're gonna beat y'all because our Super Bowl would be y'all. Like if we played y'all in second round, we probably could beat y'all then too, like on some Saint shit. Excuse me, on some Saint shit. Because y'all would be our Super Bowl the exact same way, like I told you when we won the Super Bowl. If we beat the Saints, we're gonna win the Super Bowl. It's the exact same shit. Because y'all got a lot of hype. Y'all not that good. Y'all just got a lot of hype. It's so much hype around y'all. Y'all got a bunch of talent, granted, but it's just more hype than actual ability. That's why y'all have 3-game slids and all kind of choking ass ability. Y'all ain't really won shit. So that's why y'all had to go get Chase Young. It's like, how do you have that good of a fucking defense? And then you have to go add another motherfucker because you're saying we don't have enough. Like, that don't even make
To
sense.
make it impossible to make damn sure that nobody's going to beat us.
And then you had a 3-game losing streak.
We didn't get Chase Young until after that.
But you're right. You're right. It doesn't matter. You guys are still not like destroying anybody. You're winning games, but you're not really destroying anybody.
Beating teams by 40, putting 40 points on them and not getting them or not allowing them 20 is
And
still
what
astonishing to
what
me
game
how
have you
that's
ever
not
right
considered
now?
blowing teams
What
out.
game have
I
you
just
ever?
don't.
You should not be talking about the Bucks Niners games because we discussed this. That's not
No,
how.
I'm talking about like on average.
And I'm saying, who are you
You
averaging?
can have one game where a team scores, 29 or 27 or whatever points, but if everybody else doesn't even score anywhere near 15, on average throughout the season, yeah, they had that one game, but on average everybody else, nobody's scoring 20 points. And we're scoring 30 plus. How is that not blowing them out? I don't understand. Your and my definition of blowing people out must be very, very different. But we'll see
Uh,
how it goes. Wild card playoffs, people. It came way too soon. It's gonna go by way too quickly. Um, but we're gonna see how it goes. There's no A7FL this weekend due to MLK holiday. But next weekend, A7FL is coming back for week 5 of the Fall Brawl. Next week we do plan on having some guests during the week. Got some confirmations on one. Gonna be seeing about the other, so stick around and stay tuned with all the social medias right there at the bottom to let you know what is going on during the live shows. Any updates, Mr. Country Cut?
You broke up a little bit. What'd you say?
Any updates?
Um, no, not right now.
No, no. Okay. So, uh, yeah, not really much. So again, stay with the social medias.
Oh, actually, yes, I do have one.
Go ahead.
Make sure you guys check out Rise of the Tigers. It's a sports doc regarding our semi-pro football team. It's beginning of a series of documentaries about the semi-pro teams out here in Northern California. It's gonna tap into all of that kind of stuff. Make sure you subscribe to Life's Canvas, LIFESKANVAS on YouTube. To check that out, it's gonna be on there on Monday the 15th. The first episode will be airing. And we'll have JP and yours truly on there as well because it's regarding our football team.
Yeah. Hell yeah, ladies and gentlemen. And then we'll probably be getting the schedule and everything out to you guys pretty soon as well. So if you're in the area to be able to come down and check out the River City Tigers, by all means do so. We will see you guys on Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Let me get this real quick there. And right there. Perfect. We appreciate you guys for hanging out. Everyone, please have a safe weekend. Hope everybody has been enjoying their week, be able to relax now and spend time with the family. So we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. As always, we love hanging out with you. For myself, JP, for the 610 Beast from the Southeast, Mr. Country Cave, for the greatest DJ in the entire world, Mr. DJ Mad 6. We'll see you guys next time. Later.